Every evening before nightfall, the sheriff would hold a bell and remind the people outside to go home quickly. No matter what you were doing at the moment, you had to hurry back home and close the doors and windows. Even if you were halfway through a meal in a restaurant, the waiters would immediately take away the food. When everyone had left, a woman hastily locked the door tightly. Then she stroked the strange stone hanging at the door, simply because strange things often happened in the town at night. Just before night was about to fall, the sheriff had to confirm once again if there were still people outside. Unfortunately, a man named Jack was drunk and lying in the tavern at that moment. The tavern owner kicked him several times, trying to wake him up, but Jack didn't react at all. It seemed that he couldn't go home that night. The owner could only quickly close his own doors and windows and stroke the stone at the door. Meanwhile, on the other side, Jack's wife and daughter were anxiously waiting for him at the door. But since night had already fallen, his wife had to close the door. At this time, the little girl who was about to go to bed in the house suddenly heard the sound of someone knocking on the window outside, and the person was calling the girl's name affectionately. The little girl heard it was her grandmother's voice, so without any suspicion, she quickly ran over and opened the curtain. A strange old woman was standing outside the window. Perhaps the girl missed her grandmother so much that she didn't realize that the old woman was floating outside the second-floor window at that moment. Just then, the mother heard that her daughter seemed to be talking to someone. When she came up and saw this scene, she was instantly startled and broke out in a cold sweat. She hurriedly told her daughter not to open the window, but it was still too late. The next morning, when the sober Jack returned home, he found that the residents of the town had already gathered around his house. At that moment, he still didn't realize what had happened, but when he saw the serious expressions on everyone's faces, he seemed to understand something. At this time, the sheriff directly rushed over and slapped him hard. He angrily questioned Jack why he didn't seal the windows tightly since there were women and children at home, and why he didn't come back the previous night. It turned out that every night in the town a terrifying demon would attack. Only by staying at home, sealing the doors and windows, and being protected by the stone could people avoid the demon's harassment. At the moment, the man was trapped in a small dark room. People were slowly approaching him from outside, and the man was so scared that he closed his eyes tightly. The next second, he was attacked and persecuted by the demon. The next day, when everyone was holding a funeral for him, they saw a recreational vehicle accidentally drive into the town. When the sheriff saw that someone had come to the town, he knew very well that everyone who came to this town could never leave again.